Behind every car is a story, some of triumph, others of tragedy. But few stories are as shocking as those of legendary cars that were discarded, buried, and forgotten. These weren't just vehicles, they were cultural icons, engineering marvels, and symbols of an era. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating yet heartbreaking tales of 5 iconic American cars that met their untimely ends in landfills. So, grab a seat, hit that like button, and prepare to uncover the hidden history of how some of the greatest cars ever made ended up rotting in the dirt. Trust me, you won't believe some of these stories. Number 1. The Tucker 48, a visionary's dream derailed. Our journey begins with one of the most innovative cars ever built, the Tucker 48. This wasn't just a car, it was a revolution on wheels. In 1948, Preston Tucker introduced the world to his masterpiece, a vehicle packed with groundbreaking features. Imagine a car in the 40s with seatbelts, disc brakes, and a pop-out windshield designed to protect passengers in a crash. But Tucker wasn't just challenging the norm, he was challenging the auto industry giants. And they didn't like it one bit. Rumors swirled of sabotage, lawsuits, and political pressure that ultimately crushed Tucker's dream. Only 51 Tucker 48s were built, but what happened to the ones that didn't make it? Many prototypes and unsold cars were scrapped or buried in landfills. Picture this. A car that could have reshaped the future of the industry now rusting under piles of dirt. How could we let this happen? Number 2. The Chevrolet Corvair, from innovation to infamy. In the early 1960s, Chevrolet unveiled the Corvair, a daring departure from its usual lineup. With its rear-mounted engine and European-inspired design, the Corvair was aimed at drivers looking for something different. And for a while it worked. Sales soared, and the Corvair became a symbol of American ingenuity. But then came Ralph Nader's infamous book Unsafe at Any Speed, which called out the Corvair for its alleged handling issues. Suddenly, public perception turned and sales plummeted. General Motors pulled the plug on the Corvair in 1969, leaving dealerships scrambling to offload inventory. Thousands of unsold cars were sent to scrapyards and, eventually, landfills. Today, enthusiasts celebrate the Corvair's unique charm, but back then it was a pariah, just another piece of junk to be discarded. Number 3. The Plymouth Superbird, a legend too bold for its time. Our next entry is a car so bold, so outrageous, that it became its own worst enemy. The Plymouth Superbird was designed for one purpose: to win. With its towering rear wing and pointed nose, it was built to dominate NASCAR, and dominate it did. But here's the catch: to race in NASCAR, Plymouth had to sell a certain number of Superbirds to the public. And while race fans loved the car, average buyers didn't know what to make of it. Its extreme design and high price tag meant dealers struggled to move inventory. Unsold Superbirds were sent to the crusher or dumped in landfills. Today they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but back then they were just unwanted steel. Can you imagine? A car that broke records on the track, buried like trash. Before we dive into the next legendary car, let me ask you something. Are you enjoying these incredible stories of forgotten automotive history? If so, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. By subscribing, you won't miss any of our deep dives into the wild, fascinating world of cars, from forgotten classics to modern marvels. Plus, it helps us bring you even more amazing content like this. Alright, let's get back to the action. Midpoint reflection. Why do iconic cars end up forgotten? It's hard to believe that cars like these, with all their innovation and cultural impact, could meet such tragic ends. But why does this happen? Sometimes it's bad timing. Sometimes it's a matter of public perception. And sometimes, it's just the brutal economics of the automotive world. But the truth is, these cars weren't just discarded, they were erased from history. Now let's keep going because the stories only get crazier from here. Number 4. The Ford Edsel, a marketing disaster buried in shame. The Ford Edsel, the car that everyone loves to hate. Launched in 1958, the Edsel was supposed to be Ford's next big thing. But instead of wowing buyers, it confused them. Its unusual design, paired with a botched marketing campaign, made it a laughingstock. Within just a few years, the Edsel was dead and Ford was left with thousands of unsold cars. Many were scrapped, crushed, or simply dumped in landfills. Today, the Edsel is a quirky collector's item, but in the late 50s, it was the punchline of a joke that no one wanted to hear. Number 5. The Pontiac Fiero, a flame that burned too bright. Finally, we have the Pontiac Fiero, a car that dared to dream. Launched in 1984, the Fiero was Pontiac's answer to the sports car craze. With its mid-engine design and affordable price, it promised to bring high-performance driving to the masses. But there was a problem. Early models were plagued with issues, including overheating engines that occasionally caught fire. By the time GM fixed the issues, the damage was done. Sales tanked, and the Fiero was discontinued in 1988. Many Fieros ended up abandoned, scrapped, or buried in landfills. It's ironic, isn't it? A car built to ignite passion ended up flaming out, literally. So, what do these cars teach us? They remind us that even the most innovative ideas can fall victim to circumstance. They show us how quickly public opinion can turn. And they prove that sometimes, even legends aren't immune to being forgotten. Which of these cars do you think deserves a second chance? Or do you know of another iconic ride that suffered a similar fate? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more incredible stories from the world of cars. Thank you for watching, and remember, every car tells a story, even the ones buried beneath the earth.